Shalom. Welcome back to another lesson. As always, I want to begin by giving the praises, the glory, the honor to the Heavenly Father, the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahweh Shai, whom I worship. Double honors to my teachers, beginning with the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone on down. Honors to you men pushing this truth faithfully and consistently, Salakia, on these highways and hedges, first and foremost. Honors to all you men, again, pushing this truth on the highways and hedges, faithfully and consistently. All right, in the right spirit. Shalom to you, shalom to the believers, you listeners out there. All right, trusting upon these words, this beloved, beautiful testimony that we hold. You're hearing these words and being converted, being healed, coming back to the Lord, being inspired to come back to the Lord and be obedient to His Son, in the ways of righteousness. Shalom to you. I want to talk about the word pharmacy, which is number 2 on the trending on Edamon online. Okay. So that means a lot of people are looking up this word pharmacy, which when you go into it, it goes back to the Latin and the Greek, Pharmakeia, all right, which deals with magic, witchcraft, sorcery. You got this same word in the Revelation chapter 18, verse 23. For the word sorceries, you got the Greek word Pharmakeia here, all right, which goes to the use of administering drugs, sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. So we're dealing with idolatry, and that's what you have being, all throughout the earth is idolatry at the end of the day. The things that the people are into, these habits, these customs, these various symbols and logos, throughout these different companies. This is all just idols. And when you look at what's going on with society, how it's folding, because matter of fact, I just saw a video I want to say in Brazil. You had the Jesus statue with written on it saying "vaccine saves" or something like that. Which this whole vaccine cult, this goes into idolatry too. This whole trust the science movement. This is all idolatry. Okay, because even when you go back to the ancient Greek Empire, they had a Greek god of healing known as Asclepius. And his symbol was the rod with the serpent going around the rod, which you see that same symbol in the medical field today. It's the same thing, nothing new under the sun. And so with this ministry, we're compelling the people of our nation, which only the elect are gonna hearken. We're pushing, to our people to come out of idolatry and come back to your God. Because the Lord said in Exodus, the 20th chapter, the first commandment was what? Exodus 20:3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. See, in coming, being a product of Babylon the Great, which means Babylon, Babal, which means confusion, this world has you under a state of confusion. It has you worshiping all manners of different various forms of gods, man, which are not gods at all. These are idols. How do you know they're not gods? Because the Most High said what in Isaiah the 41st chapter? I think it's Isaiah 41. Nope, not Isaiah 41. Oh yeah, Isaiah 41. Now I'm going to read verse 21 on down in the NLT. It says, present the case for your idols, says Yahweh. Let them show what they can do, says the King of Israel. Let them try to tell us what happened long ago so that we may consider the evidence. Or let them tell us what the future holds. See, that's how the Most High separates himself from these idols. He tells you what is going to come to pass. Isaiah 46:10 says what? Declaring the end from the beginning. So let's read verse 22 again. Let them try to tell us what happened long ago so that we may consider the evidence, or let them tell us what the future holds so we can know what's going to happen. The spirit of prophecy. Prophecy means, or prophesy, right? To say before. The spirit of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy. The Lord is in the spirit of telling you what will happen before it happens. That's why we have the Holy Bible, because this is the only book you can go to that tells you the end before it happens. Verse 23, yes, tell us what will occur in the days ahead. Then we will know you are gods. In fact, do anything, good or bad. Do something that will amaze and frighten us. Verse 24, but no, you are less than nothing and can do nothing at all. Those who choose you pollute themselves. See, those who choose idols pollute themselves. All right, you're polluted, you're filthy. All right, the Lord looks at you as an Israelite as disgusting by choosing an idol when you know better. All right, you know better. You know the Lord. Israelites know the Lord, man. That's why even in our customs, unknowingly, our people, naturally, a lot of Jake don't eat pork. Naturally, our people knew homosexuality was wrong. That's why so many of our people are on the DL. They do this shit not openly, and now maybe they're emboldened, to be more open about it. But a lot of, Israelite men, they're not open homosexuals, man, except for the flamboyant ones. But a lot of Jake are closeted because they know in their spirit that this is not right and this is not, what they should be doing. Where was I finna go? Let me read that again, see if I can remember where I was finna go. Isaiah 41:23. Yes, tell us what will occur in the days ahead, then we will know you are gods. In fact, I was finna go to 1 Kings 18th chapter. It's finna go into dealing with these the prophets of Baal. Going to that story. Because, it was the Most High versus Baal. And Elijah was like, yo, my God is real, man. And then like, no, our God is real. Well, let's see. You're seeing through Pharmakeia, through witchcraft, a bunch of a bunch of you idolatrous people in the world, you think that your God, your science, your witchcraft, that's the real thing. But at the end of the day, you're going to see it's not real, because it's not going to be able to deliver you from the wrath of the Lord to come. Let's see. 1 Kings 18, and we'll start at 19. We're going to read in the NLT. Now summon all Israel to join me at Mount Carmel, along with the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of Asherah, who are supported by Jezebel. These are those various Canaanite, Hamitic idols. And you had people of Israel, worship these gods. Verse 20, so Ahab summoned all the people of Israel and the prophets to Mount Carmel. Then Elijah stood in front of them and said, how much longer will you waver, hobbling between two opinions? If Yahweh is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, then follow him. But the people were completely silent. Then Elijah said to them, I am the only prophet of Yahweh who is left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Now bring 2 bulls. The prophets of Baal may choose whichever one they wish and cut it into pieces and lay it on the wood of their altar, but without setting fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and lay it on the wood on the altar, but not set fire to it. Then call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of Yahweh. The God who answers by setting fire to the wood is the true God. Right? And all the people agreed. And Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, you go first, for there are many of you choose one of the bulls and prepare it and call on the name of your God, but do not set fire to the wood. So they prepared one of the bulls and placed it on the altar. Then they called on the name of Baal from morning until noontime, shouting, "O Baal, answer us." But there was no reply of any kind. Then they danced, hobbling around the altar they had made. About noon, verse 27, about noontime, Elijah began mocking them. "You'll have to shout louder," he scoffed, "for surely he is a god. Perhaps he is daydreaming, or he is relieving himself, or maybe he is away on a trip, or is asleep and awake and needs to be awakened." So they shouted louder, started making a fool of them damn selves. And following their normal custom, they cut themselves with knives and swords until the blood gushed out. See, they cut themselves. That's why the Lord said, in the law, Leviticus 20, is it 20? Or it might be 19 or 21. Yeah, 21:5. That shall not make any baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard, nor make any cuttings in their flesh. Right, because that's what these Hamitic nations were doing, the heathen, making cuttings in their flesh, cutting themselves. And today you had that by way of tattoos and, you know, all these strange piercings. Now the nose, the ears, you know, that's okay, but you know, all this other shit, the nipples and the belly buttons and the clit, the, you know, dickhead, like all that, you know, you going off, man, you tripping. 1 Kings 18. Let's see if go back where we was at. Verse 28, so they shouted louder, and following their normal custom, they cut themselves with knives and swords until the blood gushed out. They raved all the afternoon until the time of the evening sacrifice, but still there was no sound, no reply, no response. Then Elijah, verse 30, Elijah called to the people, "Come over here." They all crowded around him as he repaired the altar of the Lord that had been torn down. He took 12 stones, one to represent each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and he used the stones to rebuild the altar in the name of the Lord. Then he dug a trench around the altar large enough to hold about 3 gallons. He piled wood on the altar, cut the bull into pieces, and laid the pieces on the wood. Then he said, "Fill 4 jars with water and pour the water over the offering and the wood." After they had done this, he said, "Do the same thing again." And when they had finished, he said, "Now do it a 3rd time." So they did as he said, and the water around the altar and even filled the trench. At the usual time for offering the evening sacrifice, Elijah the prophet walked up to the altar and prayed, "O Yahweh, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, prove today that you are God in Israel and that I am your servant. Prove that I have done all this that is your command." Salakia, trying to highlight this. Verse 37, "O Yahweh, answer me so these people will know that you, O Yahweh, are God and that you have brought them back to yourself." Immediately the fire of the Lord flashed down from heaven and burnt up the young bull, the wood, the stones, the dust. It even licked up all the water in the trench. And when the people saw it, they fell face down on the ground and cried out, "Yahweh, he is God. Yes, Yahweh is God." See that? So the Lord responded to his servant, the prophet. That's why we always talk about, because the scriptures always talk about the servants, the prophets, the servants, the prophets. "I have sent unto you my servants, the prophets." See, the Lord is dealing with the servants, the prophets. And when the servants, the prophets, call on the Lord to bring something to pass, or, you know, a blessing or a curse upon people, you know, the Lord will honor that, man, because these are his servants in the earth. And it's not many servants of the Lord that's out here, man. Verse 40. And it goes on to, you know, the prophets of Baal, you know, he pretty much we'll read it. Verse 40. Then Elijah commanded, seize all the prophets of Baal. Don't let a single one escape. So the people seized them all, and Elijah took them down to the Kishon Valley and killed them. They killed all them goddamn prophets of that idol. And that's what's about to get ready to happen soon. All you prophets of Baphomet, all right, and all this goddamn science bullshit, your ass about to get slaughtered, man. The Lord about to, lay vengeance on you people by the hand of his people. See? And all of this goddamn witchcraft, this Pharmakeia is about to be cast down. It's not going to save you. It's not going to, prolong. It might prolong your life for a little bit, but all of this shit is about to be cast down, man. All right? Because life is only for the children of Israel, beginning with the elect, man. Those that are living in Yahushua, not those that are living in this world and living and trusting in this pseudoscience. All right, from the so-called white man who is Esau, Edom, according to the Bible. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. I just wanted to, do a quick lesson through the Spirit. I pray it was edifying. Till next one. Shalom.